In this video, let's solve the inequality x cubed minus 2x squared minus 3x is less than or equal to 0 using a graphical approach. So much like an algebraic approach, we're still going to have to factor to begin with to understand what this polynomial looks like. We generally know that it is cubic, right? It's x cubed, so it's John Travolta-ish, and we know that it's a positive leading coefficient. So at least we can do this part. We can say it's got to be up over here and down over here. But then we have to figure out how many like wrinkles and moves it has. So if I start to factor this, first pulling out a GCF leaves us with x times x squared minus 2x minus 3 is less than or equal to 0. And then that factors into x times x minus 3 times x plus 1 is less than or equal to 0. So the x-intercepts of the graph occur at 0, negative 1, and at positive 3. 1, 2, 3. Right, so we have a 0 there, a 0 there, and a 0 there. Since the multiplicity of each one of these factors is 1, that means that each one of these is a crosser. So as I start to draw in the graph with my general knowledge here, I can see that it must go here and cross, and then it's going to come down to here and cross, and then it's going to come over to here and cross, which is consistent with the end behavior. So now, overall, when is this polynomial actually less than or equal to 0? In other words, when is it below the x-axis? Well, one place it's below the x-axis is over here on the far left, and another place where it's below the x-axis is right here. So what are the x values that correspond to where the graph happens to be below the x-axis? In other words, where it's less than 0. Well, let me highlight those on blue on the x-axis. That's between here and here. And then it's all of the numbers over here far off to the left. So if I was going to answer those blue x values, that domain where the graph is red, where it's below the x-axis, in an interval notation, I would say it starts from negative infinity, and then it ends at the first 0, which occurred at negative 1, and then it started up again at 0, and extended until you got up to 3. So this would be the answer in interval notation to the inequality of x cubed minus 2x squared minus 3x being less than or equal to 0.